Welcome to another edition of the Ballard Show with very special guest, ISUPK, the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. We went to Baltimore City, and it was a great honor to visit the school. Also, we gathered to celebrate Hanukkah, the Feast of Dedication. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you listen to and enjoy the episode. And peace and blessings. I hope you all enjoy. Happy holidays. Okay. Welcome to another edition of the Ballard Show. We are live in Baltimore City with the ISUPK. Is it on?
It's recording and everything. We waiting for one more camera to get in here.
Okay, that's what it is. But we're here though at the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Man, we are live in Baltimore City. I'm ever so excited to be amongst these gentlemen right here. These brothers are soldiers for the Lord, and I'm kind of interested, you know what I mean, of how you guys became Israelites and how you became high rankers in the ISUPK.
That's a very interesting question that you asked, and I think that's one of the heavier foundations that this school is built on. How each one of us was introduced to this truth, introduced to this school, is through Commanding General Yohana's hard work, and that hard work actually means he raised men up that were men that was drug dealers. They was thugs, what the society would consider thugs. They were pimps. We were the worst of the worst. And we met this brother, and he opened the Bible up, and he showed us who we were. He showed us our true identity. And because of him showing us who we were able to break free from society and the norms of society and what society expects us to be. So we are forever grateful to Commanding General Yohana for introducing us to this truth. And then after that, once you get the truth and you learn about the Lord, it's just hard work and it's perseverance. And you have to have a love for your people. And that's what we have. We have a love for our people.
A strong love for our community. And it's very, very important. Good brother, can you tell us what your name is?
I'm General Ballard, ISUPK. Definitely, like the General said, everybody had a different entry into this truth. You know, I was in a transitional home arguing with brothers, and a brother heard me arguing with another brother about we Israelites, and he ran across General Yohana on 8th and 8th Street. That brother took a flyer, handed me a flyer, and I went down to Benning Road Library in DC. And that's when I started learning. Like he said, a lot of times you'll start learning these scriptures. But in the ISUPK, Commanding General Yohana, he actually teaches you how to walk in these scriptures. Like you can know that you're an Israelite, but it really don't mean nothing. Right. If you're not doing the law, statutes, and commandments. Like today is the Feast of Hanukkah. Me as a kid seeing Hanukkah on the TV station, in my mind it's a Jewish holiday. I'm waiting on Christmas.
Right.
Never ever knowing that white people are celebrating a holiday that my people destroyed the Greeks.
Didn't know that myself for real. I learned something. Right. When I seen Hanukkah across that flyer that y'all sent me, right. I'm like, Hanukkah? I said, let me see what this is about. I can't wait to come over here and ask y'all, what does that symbolize and what does that mean? You know what I mean? So can you please elaborate on the book of Maccabees? Because that's what we was talking about tonight.
Right. The book of Maccabees is the recording of the Israelites being oppressed and eventually overcoming their enemies by the hand of the Most High. And this is basically like with anything, like Zephaniah 2:1 is like one of the bedrock scriptures that we live on. Like that's really the solution to the immigration crisis. Gather yourselves together. And that's what we really, in everything that we do. Like we're nothing if we have all these different religions and different groups black people trying to get money. Black people have always gotten money.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's how we operate within ourselves and within the heathen nations. Black people don't know how to do that. We know how to get money.
Repeat what you just said, the heathen nations?
The heathen nations, like we deal with the Arabs, you know what I mean? Like the East Indians,
Right.
you know what I mean? The Chinese. We was talking about it today, how black people always feel the Hispanic tribes, when they come over here, they taking something from us, right? Like black people are losing money that the Latinos are over here and they're being housed. But I remember General Muhammad saying something heavy, and I always thought this: even if America wasn't going to spend on the Latinos, they sure weren't going to spend no money in Baltimore on black people. Right or wrong? The drug addiction is crazy in Baltimore.
Right.
So, I mean, I don't want to take up the other brothers'
You
you
just
know,
go
time.
ahead. Good brother, can you introduce yourself?
Hi, shalom, everybody. I'm Sixth Shield General Ballard from Washington, D.C., by way of Baltimore as well. You know what I'm saying? Here in Baltimore, celebrating the Feast of Hanukkah. You know what I'm saying? Feast of Hanukkah is somewhere that every Black and Native American, Indian, so-called Latino needs to be. You understand? This biblical victory that we see in the Apocrypha, those books that the Protestants and the Catholics hid. They hid those books. Those hidden 14 books show you a race war, which is destined for America. You know, these things is about to happen to pop off again. Don't worry about the war in Israel. The real Jews is getting oppressed still and in hell, in slavery in America. That's just the sideshow. The real show is how you treat your brother in this captivity. We got to come up on a level real quick.
I don't understand. People don't understand that we are at war right now. As far as the spiritual and mental mind state, we are at war, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all don't got to realize that the Most High is trying to get all of our attentions, to let us know that it's something great about to happen. You know what I'm saying? It's time for unification. We definitely need unification. I admire these brothers I commend these brothers for taking a stand on the front lines in these major cities. And I always wanted, when I was staying here in 08, 09, I see y'all brothers out there on Penn and North at the train station on Sundays. I was like, yo, I always wanted to introduce myself to you guys and talk to you guys. I always wanted to be a part of it. So I'm happy that my platform has opened doors for me to talk to you guys. It's definitely an honor.
Okay. I heard you mention the word unification.
Yes, sir.
And it's important that when we mention the word or we use the word unification in our communities, that we understand what we need to unify under. Because we've tried to unify under so many different things. We tried to unify under Christianity. We tried to unify under Islam. We try to unify in even when it comes down to our job, working on our job with the unions. What our problem is we don't know what to unify under. We don't know what to come back together under. And what we need to unify and come back together under is the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Lord. And once we do that and we put the Christian church, we put the Muslim mosque, which are other religions that don't even belong to us as a people. Once we unify under God's laws, statutes, and commandments, and we start to keep the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Lord, then we'll start to get our head and see us as a nation of people rise above. Other than that, we're going to always be down, because you also mentioned that we at war.
Yeah,
But who are we at war with?
We're at war with ourselves, man. It's self-explanatory because we see it in our hoods, we see it in our communities. We at war with ourselves because the simple fact we are hard-headed people. We don't understand the fact that God is trying to wake us up as a people. And guess what? They don't even care. When we start talking about these type of things, the first thing they say is that I don't give a F. I don't care about all that. Nobody wants to hear all that. But God's trying to wake us up, especially us black men in America. We need to stand firm for our women and children.
Right.
Because the family structure is erased. And what we need to do is keep applying pressure to these people in our communities. I commend y'all. Y'all some soldiers, man. And that's what we need. That's what we need in society. To line up and stand firm for our communities, because these babies are going haywire. And they act like they know where they're going when they go to prison. They don't even know where they're going when they go to prison. They out here walking around blindfolded and thinking that, what are you proving? Man, I don't understand. I'm tired of repeating myself, though. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, because we're really a nation of soldiers.
Yes, we are.
That's why you see so many brothers out here in every neighborhood, every black neighborhood across the country. We fighting each other. We harming one another. It's because the Lord gave us a warrior spirit. Right. But right now, being that we don't know what the war against, now what we're doing is we warn against one another when we should be warned against our oppressors.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. They said that the black race has been cursed. Have we been cursed? Can you elaborate on that? Because they're saying we are cursed.
According to the Bible, according to the scriptures, when you go to the book of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, and you start to read from the book of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, and the first verse, from Deuteronomy 28:1 through Deuteronomy 28:15, the Lord told us the blessings that we was going to receive if we kept his laws, statutes, and commandments. From Deuteronomy 28:16 all the way down to Deuteronomy 28:68, the Lord told us the curses that was going to befall upon us for not hearkening unto his laws, statutes, and commandments. And the last statute that he told us, the last curse that he said that was going to befall upon us, is that we was going to be brought into slavery or into captivity again by way of cargo slave ships. That's one of the main reasons why we can say that we are the true biblical ethnic Jews, because yes, we are cursed. And that curse that you're speaking about, it does not apply to any other nation of people on the face of the planet, except for the black man, woman, and child that's over here in North America right now. That's the question that everyone should be asking the so-called Jew that's over there still is and claiming our nationality right now. No, let's don't go back to 1948. Let's go beyond 1948, and let's go back to how the Jew first got down into Africa, and then in 1620 how we got over here from Africa over here to America. That's the thing that you have to ask them. What about the diaspora when we left from when the Roman Empire said they was going to put an end to the state of Jerusalem, and the Jews fled into Africa? Right. If the so-called white man was actually a Jew, if he fled into a race of dark people, you can say, well, look, you're a Jew, you're a Jew, you're a Jew, we're going to kill you, and you. But right now today, if you take 20 so-called Africans that come from Africa, and you take 20 so-called Black Americans, and you mix us all up together, we can identify the difference between one another. But if you ask the white man, tell the difference between us, they can't do it. And that's how the true biblical ethnic Jew actually made it through the persecution from the Romans, and then we fled down into Africa, and then around the 1600s, of course, early 1500s, mid 1500s, they started getting us and they started bringing us over. And in the 1600s, here we go. This is where we at right now today. That's the history. That's the curse that you're looking for, and that's the curse that's hidden from everybody that they don't want to talk about.
Let me ask you something else. What do you feel about the Willie Lynch? The Willie Lynch letter.
Can I answer?
Can you please answer that question, please, sir?
Here's the problem with the Willie Lynch letter. The Willie Lynch letter was a made-up letter, right? A lot of black people. It identifies what they've done to us, right? But it's not a real person. But what is real is that Bible. Right. We talk about the Willie Lynch. We need to talk about, Jeremiah, Isaiah, Moses, Christ, Paul. We need to get into those letters. And that be the real problem. Yeah. Like, we got all this blackity black, and we've had that blackity black with the Black Panthers who love white women, they did some good things, yeah. But like he said, we gotta stop being like Uncle Toms and sellouts. we got to deal with each other. Like the hardest problem for black people is to deal with himself and his people. It's hard to love your people because the way they have us oppressed and brainwashed. Like the toughest job for me is when I'm outside that I don't get into a beef with another brother. When I walk out my door, like that's the fight.
Right.
Like we ain't doing that fight.
No.
You know what I mean? But we will big up the Black Panther Party.
Right.
We will big up that we gods and goddesses.
Right.
Stuff that don't mean nothing, stuff that really don't exist.
Right.
Black people need to wake up. We need to really wake up, examine that Bible.
Ladies and gentlemen, we all need to tap in quick, bro.
I got a scripture to back it up. The Willie Lynch letter, but he said it's in the Bible. In Jeremiah 2:14 says, "Is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave?" You understand? Why is he spoiled? Right? That goes right into what the general is saying. You understand that crab in the barrel mentality and how we treat one another or what have you. You understand? That was what got us into slavery in the first place. That was not what the white man introduced to us or what have you. That's why we ended up in the slavery in his hands in the first place. It's because of the way we act. We a homeborn slave. He asking us. You understand? Is you a house nigga? Is you just gonna be a house nigga? Is you gonna just be the typical field Negro that he, quote unquote, and you a good Negro or a bad Negro or what have you? This is right here in the Bible. Right. Whether or not we are homeborn slaves, you understand? You understand? Whether or not you a field Negro or a house Negro, is you a homeborn slave? You understand? You are happy and satisfied with this condition that we've been,
as you can see, they act like they're happy in the condition that they're in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because they act like they don't want to add and grow and add on and grow. Like they don't want to get past the BS. You know what I mean? I'm sick and tired of hearing bad reports. Like I keep saying, man, I'm tired of hearing bad reports about our people. Bad reports about somebody getting shot, killed, stabbed, anything. Right. You're saying the prison systems, man. My homeboy just came home from prison, right? He just came home from Hagerstown. He told me most of the people that's fighting in the joint is the young bloods, the blood gang. This is carrying each other out, stabbing each other up, left and right. That's the only organization, so-called organization, that's fighting against one another. Them. Yeah. And it's crazy. It's the young boys too. And it's kind of crazy to me because it's more like every time we try to reach out to these type of people, they don't want to hear it. They disregard us.
Let me say
I don't
something.
understand that.
And that's why we pound them streets so damn hard.
Right.
You know what I mean? We can't let up off of them going out there in the streets. Because look what we up against. We up against police. We up against all the religions. We up against our people. We up against the gangs. Now that's a war that we got to keep going out there. That's why we out there every week. This is a non-going problem.
Do y'all ever get any altercations?
Of course.
I have to chime in on this real quick. It's because I want every person should understand this. If you really want to understand black people, you have to understand the problem and where this problem it has a root. We have and the problem is constantly growing up in our people. And that root is the Christian church that's spoiling us. And I'm gonna tell you something. The reason why you have the young bloods and you have all these young brothers and sisters in the prison fighting one another is because when someone else is 10, 15 years older than them, 20, 25 years older than them, someone that they should be looking at as a mother or a father figure, they go and they try to speak to them and they try to talk sense to them. But you know why they don't listen? Because guess what? They've listened to their mother, they've listened to their father, they've listened to their grandmother, they've listened to their grandfather, and you know what they see when they see their mother, their father, their grandmother? They've seen destroyed people. They've seen what the church has done to them. And then how can you sit back and you see, you have a young person that's watched the church destroy you for 25 years, and then now, the first time they get in some trouble, you go and you try to shove the same garbage down their throat. They don't want to hear that because they looking at you saying, well, damn, look at the condition you in. Who the hell are you to tell me any goddamn thing? That is one of the main problems. And another problem that we have, the violence can be stopped right away. But what's gonna stop the violence in our communities? You're gonna have to feed the people, man. People trying to survive out here.
Yes.
These young kids, they starving, man.
Yep.
The families are starving, they're hungry. Until we come up with a solution to feed them, and the solution is crystal clear and it's evident. Stop sending the goddamn money overseas and feed your goddamn slaves that they've had in captivity for 400 plus years.
And then we'll make it so bad they getting all these half of these refugees that's coming into this country right now is getting most of our reparations.
You're not gonna get no reparations.
We're not getting that. Well, we're self-explanatory. We're not getting that.
Let me explain.
We're not getting that.
Let me explain. The Latinos, the refugees, whoever, he wasn't getting it. Even if the refugees or immigrants was getting that money, the white man, he put you in this condition. He wants you at war with me. Like you thinking we deserve this reparation, and somehow in the future he gonna give you some money?
He ain't not gonna give it to you.
He ain't gonna give nobody. And black people got to get out of that reparation dollars. You know what I want? I want some justice and revenge.
But it is.
I don't want no money.
But it is.
You know what I want? I want to rule over him.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't want him to pay me for what he did to my ancestors.
Right.
I want to do what he done to my people, and I want to rule over him and fix this earth.
Right.
Reparations is a small man's thinking. We got to get out of that. We got to be conquerors. We can't be looking for something small, and that's really welfare. That's really welfare.
Yeah.
Reparations is food stamps.
And then
And then they taking that too.
What we really need is we need separation.
Everybody who has a job.
That's what we need.
Everybody who has a job gets $23.
We need to be separate from him.
Yes,
That's
sir.
what we don't understand as a people.
Yes, sir.
Like what we got to understand is this. We cry about brothers and sisters that get killed by the so-called white man all the time. And God says, and he tells us to gather ourselves together, like the brother said, and he tells us to separate from them. If you're not around the white man, if you're 50 miles away from him, can he pick up a gun and then shoot you? So the problem is not that we need reparations. What the problem is, we got to separate ourselves from him because we got different laws, statutes, and commandments that God commanded us to keep and to hold his laws, statutes, and commandments dear. But instead of brothers and sisters over here right now with us, keeping Hanukkah, which is what a commandment of the Lord, you know, we looking forward to? We're looking forward to Christmas in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. We want Christmas. And what's going to happen on Christmas? You're going to go out and you're going to spend $500, $600, $700 on some toys that's going to be broke up in 24 to 48 hours. The father going to get too drunk. The mother going to tell him, Joe, you embarrassing me in front of everybody. They're going to get into a full out fight, and then the police going to be called. That's what happens. We don't want to keep God's laws, statutes, and commandments. And again, like you said earlier, we being pacified. How do we continue to be pacified? We got Christmas. Then next thing you know, we got Valentine's Day. Then next thing you know, we got Easter. Then what's after Easter? Because we don't keep the holidays here. Memorial Day. And then you got this day. And then you got Mother's Day. You got Father's Day. So
it's Black History Month.
Black History Month. Oh, that's right. In February, they're going to honor us in the coldest month of the goddamn year, which shows that they don't love us, man. They don't want you out barbecuing like on the 4th of July. They're going to give you February for your holiday, man. We got to wake up and we got to separate from the so-called white man if we ever truly want to be free, because we depend on the white man for every single thing, everything. You can't even wipe your behind the day of tomorrow if the white man said he was going to close up every grocery store and he going to close it for a week. After you done use the toilet paper in your house, you're going to have to go and start using moss, cloth, whatever you can gather up, because guess what? You don't produce nothing from raw materials. Black people don't produce nothing. If the Muslims want to show me something, the Christian church want to show me something, show me what you're producing from a raw material that's going to benefit my people. And then maybe I'll take a look at you. But until you do that, and until you can turn around all the rape, murder, robbery, and pillaging that's going on with our people, I don't want to hear a goddamn thing that the Christian church got to say, because between the Christian church and the Muslim mosque and all these other fake religions, that's the reason why our people are in the condition that we're in right now.
Let me add to that, because a lot of people get it twisted. Don't think that the Christians follow the Bible. They don't. That's number one, because a lot of black people like to just looking at the Christian, they want to dismiss the Bible because of the Christian church. Another thing that he brought out, like he said, instead of reparations, we should have separation. And in that separation and in that Bible, the Lord said, we stay separate, we do what he say do, he gonna put us above our enemies. Right. That's like we ain't never tried that. That's what we're seeking. We're seeking the rule.
Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, we gotta try to wrap this up. Is there any more things you want to say, sir?
I'm good to go.
I'm good. I'm solid, bro.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Oh, I want to get back.
get down with it. I know you already like cooking spaghetti, bro.
But check it out, December 9th, we got a winter clothes giveaway up in Spanish Harlem. All right, this coming this week, this Saturday. Also, we got the Passover, brother. You definitely welcome. Durham, North Carolina, April 20th. You need to come down there, bring them cameras,
Yes, sir.
and talk to the generals, the other generals.
Okay,
You want to
Really?
listen.
yeah.
Make your whole 2024.
I'd like to give a shout out to everyone who's watching and listening to the Mark Ballard Show. Once again, we're in Baltimore City. East side Baltimore?
East side.
East Baltimore, ladies and gentlemen. We are live with the Israelites School of Universal Practical Knowledge.
Oh, man.
And ladies and gentlemen, it's not no games. It's not no joking matter. We're here, like I said on the first one, we're here for y'all.
Damn right.
We're here to help. We're here to uplift. Anybody who wants to be uplift, give them your information, fellas.
Yeah.
Give them your information.
Go on YouTube. Go to ISUPK, whatever city you're in. We sure to be there. You understand? Or your nearest major city. You can look us up on Facebook. You can look us up on Twitter. You understand? Come to Baltimore. This is a Baltimore show. Come across that bridge, that Bay Bridge. We got something for you right over here off of Eastern Avenue. You know what I'm saying?
And it's always something to learn. There's
Damn
always
right.
something to learn.
That's
It's very exciting. It's explosive. Every time I hear of lessons from you guys, it's explosive, bro.
Damn right. Most times,
Definitely explosive.
Just bring it
Mad
up.
shout outs to Rush the Guillotine and Epiphany Music Group and everybody who's tapping in and listening to the Mark Ballard Show. We out, y'all.
Can I say one more thing?
Go ahead.
And we want to say in Hebrews, the water. I mean, thank you. You know what I mean?
Wow.
For having us on his show. The water, because you did another, this is the second show. So I appreciate it, brother.
One in and two out. That's right.
I appreciate you guys.
Damn right.
Go ahead.